explosive whips, so you should never start them up. We vicious, who we kick it like Spartacus. I'm with my squad and we deeper than the charter bus. Ballin' hard, so the majors about to call us up. We knock it out the park every at-bat. And the name of the team is the Nola Sacks Kicks Ave. The championship is up for grabs, so we climbing vertically just to hit it. And the others won't matter when we get it. And me and Albert take the profit and split it. And then we split like bananas with the ice cream. Then we reconvene, cause we are a nice team. Overtaking our defenses is a pipe dream. Out of your mind you might be. As a young black kid, I was into the X Games. Wanted to take it further, looking out for the next thing. But being where I'm from, people thought I was too cray. Until I heard this new artist they call Lupe. He changed my whole view about the things that I love. I ignored all the haters, dog, it was what it was. I started rocking my gear, got my fits all cool. And by the way, I even learned how to kickflip too. I took them lessons that I learned back then, converted all of them into confidence. And now we on go, ain't no stopping this. And they gave me the energy to push and kick. And so we kick, push, kick, push, kick, push, kick, push, coast. So grateful, dog. I learned that being myself is amazing, dog. And so we kick, push, kick, push, kick, push, kick, push, coast. I know I'm not alone. It brings a smile to my face while I'm singing this song. We got a lot on our plate, so whenever you see us, we probably eating. An appetite for destruction, so we always grub it and never believe it. Name ringing bells like Quasimodo at the top, so we never beneath it. Sometimes they call us the coolest, or maybe ruthless. That means it's easy.
All right. Welcome back. It's another edition of the Call Up Podcast. It's your boy Kenny. It's your boy DJ. DJ, what do you got to say right now to the fine people that are listening to us right now?
Right now, it is show time. Okay, here we are. These folks done filled up an arena for a kickoff show. There was no wrestling. There was no wrestling ring, and they filled an arena for this.
The way this arena was filled tonight, it felt like you was getting ready for. I thought they was gonna have like a match at one point, like the way they filled this up. Because I was like, wait a minute, like there's a lot of people here.
Exactly. I mean, they could. That man, if somebody was a wrestling fan and they're there for the Super Bowl, that had to be kind of cool. Like you had something that gave you another activity to do while you were in Vegas for the Super Bowl.
Oh no, for sure. Like if you're there and you're looking at like things to do, especially if you're a wrestling fan, I'd have been like, you know what? I'm gonna get a ticket.
Right.
I'm gonna go and see what The Rock has to say.
Which it probably like, did it even cost anything?
I mean, they had the meet and greet with Cody, and then they had a meet and greet with Triple H, which not for nothing. If you didn't pay, because I think they wanted like $5,000 or something like that just to like do the meet and greet with Triple H. But obviously you get like a whole bunch of other stuff.
No, it was, yeah. If you had the kind of money, they made it worth your $5,000. I did see it, and it was worth $5,000 if you really put it together. But that's if you got like, if you got that in the cushions of your couch somewhere, then.
Because let me tell you something, they made it interesting.
Hey. So first, let me say to everybody, I just know that the folks that listen to our show, you guys are not, they didn't mark you guys, did they? You guys didn't believe this stuff, right? You didn't really believe that The Rock, because I'm the, a board of director, I'm going to put myself in the main event of WrestleMania just because I feel like. You didn't believe that, did you? Come on, folks. If you're with us, if you're listening to this show and you've heard, this is why I put my moniker back on my name here. I'm we have the hot take kid. I'm the vigilante of takes. Okay. And the reason why I call myself that, for those who are just getting to know me, is because I like to go in to social media and I like to sit in the rafters, if you will, and look at people and look at comments that post.
Oh, we all love doing that.
Okay, you got fools that like they for real like it's like, wait, are you this much of a mark? Like, I mean, they really are all over The Rock and saying, see, this is what I don't like about The Rock. He just took it from. I'm like, dude, are you you really don't know that this is a work? You
Like, come
really
on, man.
they got you like that. Okay, this is the most ingenious thing that they've done in a long
Yep.
time. In a long time.
Bravo to Triple H for doing what he just did right now, because my God, he has us so invested in this right now. Like, well, there was a lot of people that said this reminds me of Daniel Bryan
Correct.
when he was going after the title.
Yep.
Triple H was like, he's a B player. No
Right.
one wants to see him.
Yep.
You know, no one wants to hear your story. And then, poof, here we are, where we're in 2024 and we're rooting for Cody Rhodes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there was like a couple of things. Obviously, we'll get into it, as far as like that. I was just like, damn, I felt bad, because he got smacked hard. I'm sorry, that was a hard.
Hey, but he'll take it for this kind of push.
Right.
You can slap me. I'm about to be at the main event of Wrestle. You can slap me.
I was like, damn. I was like, even my kid was watching it with me, and we was on the live on Instagram and stuff like that. And he was like, holy shit. And he just looked at me, like, I'm sorry, Dad, but that was a hard hit. And I was like, no, you know what? I'm not even mad at you.
No, he smacked the crap out of him. And because I think he let it, because he Rock's an actor.
Right.
And I think he let himself feel like, okay, this guy just said something about my family, and then let it come out in his hand. They probably went in the back. He's like, I know, I got my bad on that potato. But yeah, he smacked him.
That was. I don't even think The Rock like knew how hard he hit him, because at one point, like, I was looking back at the video.
Much adrenaline. Yep.
Yeah, I was looking back at the video, and I was just like, is his face red?
Yep. It was.
Like, and even Triple H, I guess Triple H was like a little, like, he hasn't been doing this stuff for like a good minute, because when he first grabbed Cody, right?
And he's got to be. He's got to be kind of taking it easy, if you remember. Like, Trips can't be
right. And this is why I said I felt so bad for Cody, because if you go back to the video again, right, like, Triple H kind of chokes Cody, and I was like, damn, leave him alone, bro. You already got smacked the shit out of him, man. Like, his face is red. Now you trying to choke him out? Like, what else is gonna happen to this man?
Yeah, so I mean, because think about it. So for those of you that's still not following along with, let's say you're still disagreeing with Kenny and I. Okay, follow along here. Okay, first off, so now any talk of Vince's crap, we're not really even interested now. Like, we're not even, like, it's so, let that happen in the court system. We are back to talking about WrestleMania.
Yep.
Okay, so that was the number one thing they wanted to do. All right, number two, what's one of the biggest complaints that even somebody, like, let's take a guy who's an AEW guy, and he's like, okay, I haven't watched WWE for X amount of years because of, what is the main thing that they say? Oh, well, it's just the same thing over and over again. All right, so they said, okay, nobody wants to see this over and over again. Like, so we got somebody again that wins the Royal Rumble twice. Okay, who's somebody that we're all rooting for. Like, we got everybody invested in this guy to win the Royal Rumble and go to WrestleMania to win. But it's like, so what? You're gonna go have another, like, you're gonna have Cody go against Roman and have another 2 nights of matches to wait for this match. That would have been boring, y'all. And Cody would have lasted 2 pay-per-views before you would have wanted him to drop the title.
That was the same thing that happened to Liv Morgan. Everybody wanted Liv Morgan to win the title, right? She finally wins the title. She gets booed like her first defense in.
So
it was
they know
like,
y'all.
yeah,
Okay.
exactly. They knew exactly how to play this, and they
Yes.
played it smart because who do you come out first to hype up the crowd? Seth Rollins.
Right.
Great, right?
Yep.
They already have their interactions between him and Roman, right?
Yep.
And I'm like, all right. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, now Cody's gonna end up coming out next.
Mm-hmm.
No, The Rock comes out because Roman says, I'm gonna make the decision since you can't make the decision. Now I'm gonna make the decision for. When he said that, I was like, he's picking The Rock.
Right.
Because if you're already taking the decision away from him, that means you don't want to face him at WrestleMania.
That's it.
Right? So he says he's going to fight The Rock at WrestleMania. The Rock comes out and does his typical Rock fashion, which, not for nothing, I think the way he presented himself tonight was way better than all the other times so far that he's been on TV. Because I think the things that we've seen him do on TV have been like Dwayne. What he did on the Pat McAfee show before he did the kickoff, that was The Rock.
Yeah,
that was
he was speaking in third person and everything.
Yep.
So once he starts doing that, that's when he's gone into the Rock character. And yeah, so that was a dead giveaway too. It's like, so he started going into the Rock on the Pat McAfee show. He has a hashtag that gets started to bag on one of the other wrestlers. That's what The Rock does. Okay.
Exactly.
So I'm like, oh, that's a dead. I was like, now I'm like, at first I was 50-50, and I was like, no, now I'm positive. It's 100%.
Right.
This was everything. A complete work. I think CM Punk, before he got hurt, was going to be involved in this.
Right.
But I think they even had this even before injuries.
And you seen Punk on commentary saying, he was like, well, The Rock never threw me out of the ring. I wouldn't let him take my WrestleMania shot.
Right.
Like he's poking at it, knowing well he can't do anything.
Right.
But I love the fact that WWE is having him poke that bear.
No, he's just throwing gas on the fire. He's just throwing gas, and which is great, which is what he should be doing.
Chad goes and says he's challenging Roman for the title. Listen, it looks like anyone could probably challenge Roman for the title, but Cody Rhodes, because he just didn't want to face Cody. Dream Match Wrestling was like, Dream Match Wrestling goes and says, he's like, imagine Rock beats Roman night 1 and then faces Cody at night 2. 2 dream matches in one weekend. That would, I mean, I never thought about The Rock and Cody as a dream match, but for sure, like,
it's like one you didn't know you wanted.
Exactly.
I put it that way.
Yep.
Let's see, what's up, Ashley? Ashley's WWE fan podcast. Look at that.
She's a regular. Tony Khan's YouTube account is in the building right now. He goes, ladies and gentlemen, I have an important announcement to make. Cody Rhodes is all elite. Yeah, listen, it'll take a lot for Cody Rhodes to go back to being all elite.
Especially after this. Like, he's in the middle of one of the most most important storyline in the WWE right now. Like, there's no other. I highly. Sorry, Tony K. But how you doing? Thanks for coming by.
Listen,
we'll talk about you guys in a minute.
I don't even think that Cody in AEW was this red hot that he is right now.
Dude, this is crazy. Like, this whole thing is crazy. So this is how I would write this if I had the pencil. So as an homage to WrestleMania 1, I would always have WrestleMania 1, the main event, be a tag team match. Okay. I would do that, or night 1. I would do that every single year. So so you would have, like, you know, like we're saying, like, I think The Rock is about to, like, kind of join the bloodline. We're going to put this to the side, and, Cody keeps talking, like, about the royalty of his family, blah, blah, blah. Right. So they have a match, and you can do it Daniel Bryan style if you want to. If Cody and whoever his partner is wins, he gets his title match. If not, then The Rock gets his title match, right? Or we'll say it's Roman gets his choice if he wins, right? The tag team match. All right. So of course they win. And in the celebration, like, oh, by the way, the partner he picks is Seth.
Yeah, I've kind of figured that. Yeah.
Okay. They win. Seth but Seth gets a good beating in this match. Damian Priest comes out with the case, right? At like confetti's coming down and everything. Damian Priest comes running down. And he takes the belt off of Seth. Like,
I like it.
Okay, and that's the end of night 1. And then you can go night 2, you can do what you want, but I think that would set the tone.
Dream matches like he wants Seth versus Gunther at Mania.
I don't know if they're ready for it yet.
No,
I like Gunther too. Like that would make me happy, but
right.
I just don't know if they're ready for that at this particular Mania.
Like for that, I rather would have Seth be at 100. Because like right now he's at what 70-75%. Right. You're still gonna get a good Seth Rollins match. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But you're not gonna get the 100. Like when you get Rollins at 100, he goes all out.
Well, especially that's a good pairing with him and Gunther.
Right.
Yeah. So see, I'm going with Chad here. So first, let's take the Intercontinental title off of Gunther, and why not Jay?
But it looks like it's going that route because we had it in our notes.
That's right.
Jay going after the IC title,
right?
And we seen it on Monday where him and Gunther had that interaction in the ring. I thought Gunther made some really good points where he was just like, "Listen, like I'll face you in the ring." I'm not saying verbatim, but he goes on to say like, "I'm gonna take you back to when people just said that you was just the other brother." Like they didn't even remember his name, and not for nothing, right? He's completely right because let's be real. Before the Usos got really hot, I really didn't know who Jay was. I used to be like, yeah, that's the other brother, right? Because I used to be like, yeah, because I know Jimmy was married to Naomi, and I'll be like, oh yeah, his wife is on Total Divas.
You know how I had to figure this out, and it's funny because the folks who helped me figure it out was Devon Dudley's sons.
Okay.
Because their names are the same. Like so the guy, the one with the longer hair has the longer name.
Right.
Okay, so the same thing with them. Jay has the short hair. Jimmy has long hair.
Right.
That's how I did it. Okay, that's how I was able to.
You know what? Them. I would have never. You had your way. I had mine. I just happened to put it with you're married to such and such, and you are just chilling.
Ooh, put that up there. Put that up there. What Dream Match just said.
Which one?
The last thing, Dream Match Wrestling just put it up there.
So also I want an unpopular opinion: Logan Paul versus Bad Bunny for the U.S. title. So it was funny because I think that he brings up Bad Bunny. I think if they didn't have the Kobe unveiling today, because it was on the same time as the kickoff show, by the way,
right?
Because I watched the first part of the kickoff. I watched the unveiling of the Kobe statue, which started at 6:30,
right,
my time, and then right when I believe Seth Rollins was coming out, that's when they unveiled the Kobe statue, and I was like, okay, no, Triple H came out first, and that's when they unveiled the Kobe statue. I watched the Kobe stuff, and I was like, all right, cool, and then I switched my TV to watch. Bad Bunny was at the unveiling. If they did not have this Kobe unveiling today, I can go with Dream Match and say that we would have maybe had Bad Bunny there.
Man, because like you said, like so in this like so here's my computer, my TV is right here. So like you said, I had Kobe on this, and then, then I had
Yep.
the WrestleMania kickoff on this. So I was going, I was going back and forth. We'll talk about the statue in a minute. But that's an interesting match, is what I'll tell you. Their dream match. That is an interesting match. Because what if you made, like, let's say you made the U.S. title, kind of be about like a person that doesn't have their foot all the way into WWE. What if that was
Right.
their title, and it's like more prestigious than the 24/7 title?
Mm.
So that's just food for thought. Doesn't have to
Yep.
be. And then you had Jamal come up in here, and he was talking about dropping to dry ass Drew for you.
Dry Drew McIntyre, which we'll get into Drew too today.
At Mania. And then holding on to SummerSlam. So that's quite a hold. Like that's
That's a
you're
big
when
hold.
you hold the title from WrestleMania to SummerSlam, that's a haul.
Mm-hmm. Like they have to have a really good story for you to continue to like hold that title for so long.
Right. I just kind of see. I think at some point Damian will have his hands on that title. Like that's the only reason why I don't. That's the only thing that's kind of the hole in that particular prediction. Not that it's bad. Like that's still I think people will be for it. I think people are ready to see somebody else see what they can do with that title. I just don't see Damian waiting until SummerSlam to
And I wouldn't want him to hold to wait until SummerSlam in order to get an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? It's like
no.
You've had this, and I don't think no matter of fact, he can't even wait until SummerSlam because remember the contract is for a year, and they came and they did Money in the Bank early, so he has to cash in before the summer.
I think it should go, and personally, I think it should go back to being a WrestleMania match.
I totally agree with you. I don't think Money in the Bank needs its own pay-per-view, just for the simple fact that you have every single time the champion defends their title at Money in the Bank, they end up losing it right after because not for the men, but for the women. The minute this girl has a match, no matter who's the champion, whoever it is, the minute they get up and they celebrate that they're tired and they did the whole victory thing and everything was cool, and then boom, here comes the person's music. Here they come running down with a referee, and all of a sudden now they lose the title because they're tired or whatever the case may be, and then we get a whole new champion.
So Kenny, that's would Bad Bunny get booed in Philadelphia?
Hell no. Bad Bunny.
I thought there was a pretty good contingent there of
Bad Bunny is one of the hottest artists today. He is loved by the WWE fan base. They will be ecstatic if Bad Bunny was to come out and beat Logan Paul. I don't even think they'll be mad that Bad Bunny is United States champion. It would suck, not for nothing, because you think about it, you would think that they would have they would have maybe given it to LA Knight if that's the case.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Yeah, put a title on LA Knight. Poor LA Knight.
Yeah.
He got totally buried in this in this main event.
But man,
just push what down the line.
Another thing that I would have to say that I really loved what they did was they did like the whole TED Talk, right? And then they put up the graphic of the whole Samoan family.
I want a poster of that.
WWE needs to make this into a poster. I will buy it, frame it, and
Yes.
put it up on a wall somewhere.
Correct.
Or even when I move, just throw it up there and be like, all right, this is it. Because, man.
No, I agree. I agree. Like that needs to there. If you want some more coin in that WWE shop, go ahead and put that up there. It'll sell. You'll do all right. Just for putting some names. You're just listing names, and they're gonna make money off of that.
Mm-hmm. So one thing that was it was funny to me is like now, because the same thing like you did, you went online and checked out the IWC.
Yes.
And you was like, man, I went to look at the comments to see what people were saying in order to get hyped for this show so we could talk about it. Right. And I was just like, I can only imagine. The little interaction that I seen was people saying, I'm still confused.
Good.
What is going on at WrestleMania now?
Yes.
And that's exactly what Triple H and Nick Khan and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson wanted you to feel. And I love it.
I smell some Paul Heyman in this.
Had to be.
Okay, you have these great wrestling minds. They're just too good. They're too good. Just please tell me that our audience did not go for this, right? You guys knew
not. I hope
okay,
not.
you guys knew. Like, we'll help you out if you did.
Right.
Let's see. Okay, so going back to that the Bad Bunny. So Dream Match was thinking, well, it's a Philadelphia crowd, so that hardcore based crowd. Like, I hear you. I hear what your thought was, but I'm telling you, well, I mean, okay, so hardcore based crowd. Go back to that match he had in Puerto Rico.
Mm-hmm.
He put his work. He got it. I think he earned their respect even in that match. He hasn't had any tomato can matches.
Nope.
Look at all of his matches. Like, he's doing Canadian destroyers in his matches. So I think he's even got their attention. So I just don't see the booing.
Right. Because he's definitely earned the respect of like people in WWE. I think the fans respect him too. You know what I mean? I think the reason maybe why Logan Paul just gets that hate is just because the way he carries himself. You know what I mean? And he's doing a great job as a heel because that's his job, is to be a heel. If people don't like you in real life,
that's right.
And you're gonna make yourself
that's right
even more hated
at
your job. He's doing his job.
And that's why some heels, it's hard for them to be a heel. Like, it's hard for them to be a heel. Like, I mean, we could start with the Legion of Doom, right?
Right.
Legion of Doom didn't do anything different from when they were heels, but we just liked them too much. Let's see, Andre. Yeah, Andre. They playing folks like a violin, and it's a great, like, this is what you want. This is what you asked for. When you guys kept, everybody that says this, it's always all the same thing and it's boring, blah blah blah.
Right.
It ain't now, is it? You don't even know what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
You're not, that's my point. We're not supposed to. Okay, we're not supposed to know.
But you seen what Mark says now in the chat. He goes and says WWE is running out of storylines for Reigns, so they bring in The Rock to help Roman win yet again. I don't think he's gonna win this time. I think they did bring him in. I do agree with Mark on this one, where I'm like, you brought The Rock in because you have nothing else. Like you do.
Yeah, I agree. What else is there? No, I agree with that. Like, because pretty much you fed everybody to him.
Yep.
So, okay. Great. So instead of so just like you're saying, but to piggyback on what you're saying, Mark. Instead of, okay, so let's just run it back. Let's just have Cody win the Royal Rumble and one-on-one match at WrestleMania again. How about we do something different? How about we are literally watching Scott Hall walking out all of a sudden walking through the crowd at WCW Nitro. That's what we're watching.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're watching. Okay. Sit back and enjoy it at this point. Because it's like you don't even know I don't want to know what's going to happen. This is the stuff I like. I don't want to be able to say, "Oh, I can just tell you what's going to happen." No, I don't want that anymore. So nor do any of you. So they heard you, and that's what they're doing. What ratings are dropping?
So ratings are dropping. So bring in Hollywood Rock to trick the people into watching. No, I mean, I don't think the ratings are dropping because they're still hitting a million
what
views.
ratings are, like, they just got picked
every
up
week
for billions of dollars. So there's nothing wrong with the ratings.
Exactly.
We're never gonna have. Nobody ever is gonna have the ratings that the Monday Night Wars had. So just throw that over there.
Yeah,
so,
that's true, and I think that's what people are looking for is those old like Monday. Like you got to think about it. Like back in the day when they did the Monday Night Wars, it was to see who was going to be dominant.
Right.
You know what I mean? Who was going to like? They did anything and everything possible to beat each other because you had two guys that wanted to see whose dick was bigger. you have Tony Khan, who is a diehard wrestling fan that loves this business, that has like an unlimited amount of money. And then you have Triple H, who loves this business, gave his life to this business, and just wants to see the product grow.
Right. No, this is about it, like you're saying, and just to do something different. Why does it have to be rinse and repeat? Like this is what I did not like. So a lot of people, for example, go back to Daniel Bryan, right?
Right.
So I was one of those. I was like, okay, so I'm confused. We saw Daniel Bryan win the Royal Rumble, beat Batista, beats Triple H in one night, holding up titles and confetti. Okay, stuff happens during the year. Okay, so now, he has a chance to do it again, and he didn't quite get to do it again. And people were up in arms about that. I'm like, wait, but why do you want to see the same thing over and over again? Like, I wasn't a kid. Like, I guess I wasn't one of these kids that just, I can just have a Jack in a Box and twirl the Jack in a Box for an hour and have the thing pop up and be surprised every time.
You get bored.
Yeah, I can't do that. So I'm like, so why are we doing the Daniel Bryan? Why are we rooting for the Daniel Bryan thing again? I'd like to see. I'm all for let's see somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And then so we got Mark, who is you're a person that canceled your Peacock because Roman defended it with the same end.
Well, let me tell you something, Mark. You better get your subscription back because it's getting very interesting. Because now I'm thinking, we seen the backstage stuff, right? Where they're trying to ask Triple H, what's next? What are you going to do? And the minute the man is about to answer, here comes The Rock and Roman Reigns. Together, by the way, still together. Talking about, hey, did you see him talking about my family? Did you see the way he was talking? Like, you better fix this.
Yes. And then he like they bleeped it. I couldn't read his lips, and they had to just put a long bleep in there. I couldn't make out what he said, but he probably let some MFs out, I guess.
Listen, I hope The Rock is ready to wrestle twice because I think they're gonna. Listen, WWE is smart. I pray that they give us Roman and The Rock versus Cody and Seth at Elimination Chamber. Give me a reason that I have to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning to see this
Mommy, right?
Besides watching Mommy,
right?
Give me something
in her home country. That's gonna be
besides Gunther and Jay,
right?
Because we know we're gonna get that match at Elimination Chamber.
Mm-hmm.
That's from the interaction that they had on Monday. That's what it looks like it's gonna go.
Mm-hmm.
Jay's gonna get his first singles title. Gunther's gonna lose the title at Elimination Chamber, and then most likely start a feud with whoever the champion is after WrestleMania, and go on to fight at Backlash.
Right. Mark, I'm sorry, dude. Just out of curiosity, and you can put it in the chat. I just out of curiosity, how old are you? And how long you been, like you say, Attitude Era? So you've been watching for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Just how long you been watching wrestling? Go ahead, Kenny. Well, he's
Yeah, no, I'm kind of curious too, but amazing kickoff. They obviously they wanted to hype up the crowd, so they brought Bianca out and they brought Rhea. Rhea's like, oh, I want to just see who's gonna be my WrestleMania opponent after Nia Jax at Elimination Chamber. Out comes Becky Lynch.
right.
I'm
If
gonna
you beat Nia
win.
Jax.
Yeah, I'm the man. Blah blah blah. I said, okay, cool. That's working, right? We're getting somewhere.
Yep.
Something that hit me, almost 40. So Mark is almost 40. We're older than you. I'm 40. I'm going on 41 next month.
I'm 45.
So if you're 45.
So Mark, so that means that you're old enough to have seen one of the greatest of all time, Ric Flair.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, so you said you cancel your subscription because every time Roman defends, it's the same ending. Okay, how did every Ric Flair title defense and or championship win end? Same.
Oh, Andrew 50. So he's older than
there you go. There you go, brother.
All right, Andrew.
Yeah. He's on the 5th floor.
He's on the 5th floor. But I mean, they're giving you a little old school feel.
Yes. He cheats. He's a heel. What are we doing? How are we getting mad at the heel cheating? I just somebody help me.
How many times were we mad at Vince McMahon for doing something wrong to Austin throughout the Attitude Era? A lot.
Right.
And now it's just
he won a Royal Rumble over Stone Cold. Stone Cold whooped his ass all over an arena.
And he ended up winning the
Royal Rumble. That Royal Rumble, folks. With everybody helping Vince McMahon. So, people coming out of all different directions to help. So Jimmy Jam wants a live. Thank you, Johnny.
Let's give Jimmy Jam the floor here. This thing just messed up on me here.
All right. We can see it.
All right. I'll give you a reason Jimmy Jam will be awake watching the event. I even got Jimmy in on it. Oh, Jamie in on it. We'll be FaceTiming one another. Jimmy Jam, Kenny, and DJ Elimination Chamber live stream. Let's do it. I don't think that the DJ is gonna wake up because if it's 5 for me, it's what?
Yeah, it's
2
3 in the morning.
2 o'clock, 3. It's like 2, 3 in the morning for you.
That means I just have to stay up. Is what that?
Yeah, you just be like, listen, I'm gonna go take a nap. I'm gonna wake up around 1. While we're having breakfast, you're having a really late dinner.
I'll think about it though. That's kind of enticing. So
listen, I'm praying. I normally wake up at 4 in the morning.
Okay.
So for me, I could just go to sleep early. Try and I'll get up and just watch the pay-per-view.
Right.
Whoever is up at 5, you send me a quick DM. I will send you a link, and we could talk about this live on the channel here, right? Until DJ.
See, I got a touch of insomnia. I think I'll be awake.
Then you know me, it's hard for me to sleep. It's hard for me to sleep anyway because of me work. I used to work nights, so it's like, all right,
He's
But
having pizza and tenders at 4 in the morning.
See, he already has his elimination chamber food going. Like,
Right.
I'm having pancakes and freaking bacon. I'm just
Jimmy
trying to
said
do.
he'll
I'm
be
just
the
trying,
alarm.
yeah, I'm just trying to wonder whether or not if I could do it without waking anybody up in the house because I have food cooking. You know,
No, yeah, that
you
would.
smell that, you like, wait a minute, I'm gonna get up now.
Yeah, what's
Like,
going on? Yeah, no, I don't think that'll work.
but man, amazing kickoff.
I mean, arena, like they, you have some folks that sometimes it's a little bit hard to fill an arena, and these folks filled an arena for a kickoff show.
Yep. Telling you, the minute they started talking about The Rock and they mentioned his name, everybody started booing. Now, well, I'm not gonna say everybody, but a majority of the people started to boo.
Well, then you had a chant off after that.
Yep. Until he came out.
Right.
And this is the whole Daniel Bryan effect where I was like, you guys are fickle.
And
Because
The Rock has the
booing,
#1. He's #1 in merch right
yep.
now.
You're booing this man because you think he's taking Cody's spot. Then when he comes out, everybody was just like, and the millions.
Right.
That fucking place got loud. So I'm like, what are we doing here? Are you mad at him or you not mad at him? Like, you can't,
They don't know.
you can't chant the people's name and all this other stuff. And then you like, well, I'm still mad at you because you're like in Cody's spot.
Right. Nah. See, I'm just with Johnny. Like, you just gotta love this
Yeah,
whole story.
listen.
You got to. You got to. I don't care.
I
All
wasn't
this
this
stuff-
hype. Yeah, I'm sorry. I wasn't this hyped for WrestleMania until all this started happening.
And I think that's what they were going for. So again, if we just had the run of the mill, we're just gonna line up 2 nights of matches. Oh, this person is in there because they won this, and this person is in there because they won that. 2 people that happen to have an argument on Raw or SmackDown. Okay, now they're let's throw them into one of the nights. We'll have hopefully we have the Andre the Giant Battle Royal belongs at WrestleMania. Even though it'll probably be at SmackDown. But yeah, it would have been the exact run of the mill, rinse and repeat, and then everybody would be on our comments right now saying it was all right, but it was the same thing. They're doing something different.
Yep.
This is
and
different.
that's what we need.
It's different.
We got to get
Did you miss the beginning, Jimmy? I think because was that my
what he goes plot twist main event day 1, Rock and Roman versus Seth and Cody. We did talk about that. We were saying I said I would like to see the elimination chamber just because of the way it's been shaping out so far, because to have that at WrestleMania, it's like, okay, you're still protecting Seth at this point.
I think you got to protect. I honestly think, going back to what you were saying, I think we got to protect The Rock and Seth. I don't know about The Rock at this point in his life. I don't know about one-on-one matches anymore.
Right.
Okay. And that's just, hey, the man's what, almost 60?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay, so Father Time. Like, no knock on him. I'm like Mark. Like, Mark is saying, hey, Attitude Era fans have to love The Rock. I know I do. Hey, one of those shelves over there is all Rock. Okay, so okay, so yeah, you got to. That's why I said a tag match. Like, that's why Jimmy's probably saying a tag match. I think you got to put him in a tag or a triple threat.
Right.
Rock is 51.
So he is.
So
shit, fuck if I knew that.
So I think you got to protect him too. Like, I just don't know about. I think it's very iffy to have a fast one-on-one match with him. Axiom Punk.
Shit, the way Punk is now, he's every 2 seconds he's hurt. He's getting hurt now.
I think he needs to have a little bit. Might want to consider having a steak maybe once a month, maybe.
Yeah. Change up your diet a little bit. Join the fun crowd. So for me, you know what was crazy about it is because I'm looking at the list of things for us to talk about here, and the winners and losers section, the
I
winners
think
and
he looked
losers
younger
section
than
on
most
this.
of the folks in our chat.
Yeah, I listen. The Rock, The Rock looks way better than me. Okay,
Damn.
I would never get to that Rock point. You know, but God bless him. Just don't break a rib.
And I honestly don't even care what kind of chemical or you still like some, sometimes you've seen people that even use that and they still don't quite look right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so and you still like you use that like, and this is all like we're just speculating. You use that, you still got to do the work.
Yep.
Okay, you don't just shoot yourself up and then all of a sudden you wake up and you got biceps. It doesn't work that way.
What's Jimmy Jam saying? Honestly, what I think they should have done is the Bloodline giving Jay a beatdown only to have The Rock try to stop it and from them to attack him. That's how I would have handled it. But you remember, I mean, it sounds good when you type it, but do we remember what happened to The Rock? I mean, to Roman at the Royal Rumble when the Big Show and Kane was beating his ass. Who came out to help him? The Rock. What happened at the end of that match? Roman Reigns wins the Royal Rumble. What happened after they started when he pointed at the WrestleMania sign with The Rock? Everybody booed.
Yeah,
They hated that shit. They didn't like it.
It looked like the NWO hit the ring. They were
Yep.
throwing trash and
because the minute that would have happened, right?
He said maybe that's what The Rock was.
Yeah.
I think he's talking about the chemicals. Oh man, that was good.
The minute that would have happened, everybody would have been like, "But you're supposed to be here for Roman, and not for Jay. Why are you helping Jay? Why aren't you going after Roman right now?"
Because The Rock right now. So right now, it still makes sense in the story, like you're saying, that he's going to be on the side of the bloodline.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, whatever that side is, that's what he's going to stick up for. So, and then here comes Paradise with throwing up the ones
in the house. You see the
and
shirt?
Well, I figure it was Super Bowl week, so I'm.
Oh, I mean, I haven't gotten. I gotta get my Giants jersey out of there, even though we're not in the Super Bowl ever.
That's all right. But yeah, so he's gonna be on the side of the bloodline, so that makes sense. Yeah, I like you said, like on paper it sounds good, but I think the crowd would be like, well, here we go again, kind of thing. Now you're gonna shove Jay down our throat. That's how they would turn on it. Like, oh, now you're shoving Jay down our throat. So, yeah, you got to bring Jay along. Like, I think they learned from that you got to bring him along slowly. Don't put the rocket to his back because people they're not very receptive to that.
But this is a great way to segue into the Jay conversation.
Okay.
Because like we said earlier, we touched on it just a little bit. Gunther came out on Monday to address the WWE audience and say how he's like the greatest IC champion, longest reigning, everything. And then out comes Jey Uso.
Right.
They had their little interaction, and it looks like Jay's going to get that title shot for the IC title. He's now, we've seen Imperium beating down Jay. The New Day, out of all people, come out to help Jay. We're gonna get a tag match on Monday. The New Day, Jey Uso versus Imperium, but they haven't made it official that Gunther and Jey Uso are gonna fight for the IC title. I see it coming.
Mm-hmm.
They're probably gonna let us know on Monday that this match
Mm-hmm.
is gonna happen. Do you see Jey walking away with the IC title in Australia, in Gunther's hometown, on this
Is it really?
really early morning pay-per-view?
Well, for us
I
anyway.
have to stress that out for everyone.
Yeah.
This is gonna be a
Yeah.
really early morning pay-per-view for all of us.
Hey, you got some. I'm pretty sure there's some folks here that are some also some New Japan wrestling fans. So this ain't this ain't nothing new to
Right.
them. So so I'm not gonna even complain. It's in another country. This
Mhm.
is I lived in Australia for a while.
Where
So
didn't you live?
um, that's a good question.
See, we're gonna have to have a whole show of places of where DJ lived. You can
I'm
guys say if
yeah,
you did,
I'm like basically the real life Forrest Gump, if you will.
but we're not gonna.
Like
You know what we'll do with that one before I let you get back to Gunther versus Jay.
yeah.
And if you want to know where around the world DJ has been and lived, join the Fig Cave Patreon. That's the
Yep.
best thing that you could do, right? It's like $1 a month that they have a tier there. I think they have a tier for $3, $1, $3. One of these tiers that they have to get the lowest tier. Start there. Listen to DJ's story of where in the world has DJ lived.
Where in the world?
You're gonna like other stuff, right? And then you probably will buy some action figures at the same time.
If you're an action figure collector, this is the
Easy
place.
money.
We don't let people upcharge you. It's got to be fair price, or you out of there. So so no, that's a great community. You have folks they'll go on the page and take pictures of the shelves at the Target that they're in. So yeah, so if you or just come kick it with us. Like we put posts up, just questions and polls and stuff, and the Patreon has like he's saying, we have the extra episodes. I think Tommy and Phil, like they had not watched what was it, I think they're watching Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
Like, they
they're
never
watching
watched it.
episodes of Game of Thrones, which
So you're
is
having
amazing.
them.
I've watched the last episode that they did because I was one of those people who didn't watch Game of Thrones. You know what I mean? And it was just like, okay, let me go check this out to see
Right.
what their reaction is to certain episodes.
And it's kind of cool to it's like somebody that's seen the whole thing, and then you're watching. Now you get to watch somebody's reaction. That's
exactly.
It's a cool premise.
Chris is in the building, hands down the best figure group on Facebook. It's true. There's a lot of great people in that Facebook community over at the Fig Cave.
Got your back. We're going back to Gunther here.
Yes. What do you like I said? So I posed a question to you. Do you think it's Jay's time?
Am I going to be drinking coffee and taking notos and seeing Jay win this championship? So I like how there's a question to because that's the first. Let me just say that first. That this is it's not like, oh, it's just hands down. This is not him going against the Miz. Okay, with all due respect to the Miz, we knew that was just going to be another title defense.
Right.
This is not. You have this guy's over, right? So rather you watch that entrance, everybody's bouncing up and down with him when he gets up when he goes down the aisle and gets in that corner, and they start bouncing up and down with him. He's hot right now. Gunther, we're trying to get to, it's almost about time for him to upgrade. I wouldn't be mad at him having the Raw championship.
Right.
But I guess at some point we got to drop this IC title, right? I guess that's what's kind of mixed up in my mind is like, when does Gunther win that championship? And I guess like at some point, like we're saying, he's got to drop the IC first. He's already surpassed all the records.
Mm-hmm.
So this could be it. This could be it. And let's see Jay go into WrestleMania, and possibly you have Jimmy who comes over and says, I think I want that.
Yeah, because
So
not for nothing, you kind of just because the way everything is shaping up right now, it's like Jimmy doesn't have anything going on at WrestleMania. Right. I can see them putting the title on Jay, having Jimmy come. See, look, Chad is right there with me.
Mm-hmm.
You have Jimmy versus Jay, IC title, night one. I don't even have to say anything else. Chad,
I mean, that's some
has already
some Steamboat Randy Savage stuff right there.
Yep.
If you just I would just say, you guys do what you want, and we everybody puts you guys do what you want, and I bet you they do some Randy Savage, Ricky Steamboat kind of intercontinental title match right there. So this could be it. This could be where we get the first step of that.
Right.
And you really do have you really do set up a WrestleMania. I mean, that's could you imagine that's the opening match to a WrestleMania? That's the opening match of 2 nights. Okay, so that's where we're starting. That's the floor that they're gonna set, is Jimmy versus Jay for the Intercontinental title.
And that's a good way to start.
That puts the whole everybody else on notice. Okay, we can't go out there and put no bullshit out there. We got it's got to be a real match here.
Yeah, because I think if you put Jimmy, because they expect for that kind of match to be closer to the end of the night. But if you start Jimmy and Jay to open up night one, like Chad said, I think everyone else on the card itself is going to be like, I need to step up now. Like, whatever we just talked about backstage, let's just scrap it. Let's go out there and do something else, because these two guys, they're gonna put on a show, because they know they have that mentality to say, like, you know what, we have to have these guys talking for the next month about this match, because that's what they did with the New Day. Oh, you guys want to keep putting us at the kickoff show? No problem. We're going to make people run to their seats at the kickoff shows,
right,
to watch our matches. I remember watching the New Day versus the Usos at SummerSlam.
Yep. I remember
where
that.
people were still coming in to the arena. And I was sitting there, but my whole section wasn't even there. And I was by myself. And I'm just like, you guys are missing a good match.
Right.
They fucking killed it.
Yeah, I remember watching that on TV. I'm like, yo, this match is and I'm getting, because I'm used to opening stuff. Okay, I'm gonna go start making my lunch or whatever. And then I keep glancing back. I'm like, wait. It ended up where I had to wait to finish what I was doing because they stuck me to the television. So, now to, again, putting, we're talking, we had Dream Match here in the comments, could you imagine a better opening match than that?
So Mark goes, he's like, personally, I wish they would have pushed Braun more. But I think once he came back from being let go, I felt like they just did it because he had nowhere else to really, he wasn't doing really anything. He was doing the bodybuilding stuff. He was doing the stuff with EC3, with that whole federation that they were doing, in the Indies. But his home was WWE.
Right.
He needed to be the guy that he is now. And it sucks because he has an injury and he doesn't know when he's going to come back.
Right.
But I'm sure that once he comes back, especially with this new creative team that they have in WWE, that they'll have something for him.
Yeah, I think I think it just needed to cook just a little bit more, and then he got in, like you said. Like I think there was probably something coming up, as this injury happened. So, like I would have given that just a little bit more time, and I bet
Yeah.
you, like, especially by now, if he was not injured by now, you would see him in something. So just sometimes, you got all these moving parts, to deal with. So sometimes there's always like somebody that doesn't get the push that you personally like, that doesn't quite get the push you think he should get. Like personally for me, it's Ricochet. Like I don't think Ricochet gets enough either credit or time.
Well, Ricochet was all a part of the mix with this whole We Want Cody stuff,
Right.
because Ricochet was all on the X,
Yes.
giving his personal opinion on stuff.
Right. Because the man, like everyone, like they keep trying to tell me this guy can't talk, and I'm like, wait, but everywhere else that I've seen him with a microphone, he talks just as well as anybody else. What do we? I don't.
Yep.
You're not making sense to me, because I'm seeing the man talk. Like I'm looking at it.
Right. And that's a good thing what Chris said. It was like Braun would be a really good candidate to take over like a Brock spot, which is
like
true because yeah.
Yeah, that was a pretty good. I remember that. That was a pretty good one.
Yeah, that was. I remember that. That was like he was actually doing something good.
And then, now we also got to talk about the other Braun that's in there, Braun Breaker.
Yeah, Braun Breaker. He showed up to Raw, right? But he took the contract, but it wasn't like he didn't give it back to Adam Pearce. He just took it and was like, all right. So we're probably gonna end up seeing him at some point on SmackDown to talk to Nick Aldis. You still got Carmelo Hayes, who needs to get called up as well.
I love that. That was just, they set that up so well. Like that was, I guess, spoiler alert, that was one of my winners with that particular.
He's one of we can get into the winners and losers. So we both had Carmelo as our winner for this week. I watched the NXT pay-per-view on Sunday. I think Trick Williams is another person. Trick Williams is another guy that I had on my winners list. He showed that he could be a main event guy.
He did. Big time match.
What he did out there was amazing.
Yep.
The only thing I didn't like was sometimes a lot of the things that Carmelo Hayes was doing was kind of predictable. That's something that he can work on, going into the main roster. But there was little things, and I remember you had sent me a message on Instagram where you was just like, "Hey, look,"
for me.
And I was just like, "How?" Like I didn't put that 2 and 2 together of like Carmelo wearing the all black with the leather jacket, and like Shawn Michaels in the barbershop scene wearing all black leather jacket, and I was like, "Oh,
same jacket." So yeah. I don't know if you guys followed that. So there was a picture this guy showed of, like, how they try to do like the NBA and the NFL, and they show the guys walking into the locker room before the show. So Carmelo Hayes was wearing shades, the exact same leather. If he got it from Shawn Michaels, it wouldn't surprise me, but it was the exact same leather jacket that Shawn was wearing on the barbershop, and he had the same look, and he's walking to his locker room. And then I said, so they were telling us right off what was going to happen. And then they executed it. So, and I thought, again, I thought it was a great story. Even, I thought that was a good story. I like stuff like that. I like swerves and stuff. So I said that has to go in the winner circle.
When you show me the picture, I was like, damn, I didn't even think about that. I was like, they were on point with that one.
Yes.
I want to see what's next between these two. Obviously, they got to do something for WrestleMania weekend, right? Stand and Delivered is their next pay-per-view.
Put them in, let them go.
To end this friendship and to end this feud, it has to be at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Because now Carmelo can go off into the sunset,
right,
and be a really good, wrestler over on SmackDown while you still let Trick Williams dominate NXT. Let him leave at least with that world title, because why not? He deserves it.
No, and like I said, these are just two, like both of them. First off, they're just, I think they just got the it, like how we talk about. There's just something. It's something you can't explain about a wrestler, and I think they both have it.
Right.
Where they come out and you're ready to watch them. Like you're they're about to wrestle. Let me strap in here, right? And they both have it. So that they got the bright future. Hopefully, not going with like no injuries, no nothing. Let's have a good career here. And I think I think both of them are going to be just fine.
I know this is really long.
I think we're good. Like you see, like people are engaged. I think we're doing just fine. Everybody, we got everybody engaged.
I think the one thing, and I want to know if everybody else, like what they think of this, is like now you have Carmelo, who is going to move up to the main roster. The way this year is going, the way the years are going in the months, they go by so fast, right? He finishes off with Trick Williams. Trick Williams does really well in NXT. We fast forward to Royal Rumble 2025. Carmelo is in the ring. He's been good the whole year. He's in the ring. He's fighting. You're waiting for the next person to come in. And who is it? It's Trick Williams. And you just rehash that story again.
Hey.
Okay.
We've seen it before,
Yes.
So why not? Like have people have rivalry spill over into the main roster. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all.
Another person I had on my winners list, and I'm hoping that you have this man on your winners list too.
Okay.
And that is my man, dry ass Drew McIntyre. I never said to myself that I wanted to go buy a shirt as fast as that shirt that I seen on Monday.
I put the shirt I put the shirt in the winner circle, so I guess that'll count.
your man. First of all, he attacked Seth Rollins.
Right.
He's like, he gave him a good headbutt. I was just like, okay, all right. Now, you're gonna attack Sam? Keep attacking people. Please, you are answering.
You wanted him to stop talking.
You are answering my prayers when you do that.
Yeah, for everybody that like you're catching, if you just joining us or whatever. So Kenny was all over Drew like these, the first couple the couple of weeks before Royal Rumble. He's like he just keeps coming out there and talking. He's this big dude that comes out there and just talks. And then it's almost like they listen to the show or something. Because then right after that show, my prayers. It's been nothing like he's just been coming out and putting boots in people's mouth. Yep. Like so, I don't know if they listen to this or whatever, but it turned around right after you made the name Dry Ass Drew McIntyre.
Dry Ass Popeye's Biscuit Drew McIntyre.
It was over with.
Carlos is in the house. What's going on, Carlos? I haven't seen you in a minute.
One slap is better than 100. I'm going to 1,000% agree with this.
I agree with that too.
1,000. Like 1,000.
But yeah, but listen, Drew is doing what he needs to do.
Yep.
He's putting himself in a title picture, whether you put him against Seth or not, or you put him in a triple threat match for the title. I don't, because now because of this kickoff show, we don't know what's gonna happen to the WrestleMania card.
Nope.
Like, and mind you, we still, like I said, we still have Elimination Chamber. You still don't know what's going on there either. So it's just like we gotta wait and see. Check the dirt sheets. Somebody's bound to spoil it.
Oh well, I mean, I've already saw Dave try to give his, what he thinks is gonna like,
Right.
and of course it's some bull. Like you don't know.
Right.
Nobody's giving. You have no information. You're just like us. You're in the dark. And I just love it. I love watching him like scramble because he's supposed to be the know-it-all, and I just like it when he doesn't know it. He's got nothing. So that kind of stuff is entertaining to me.
Carlos is asking us what we think of The Rock versus Seth, Bloodline wanting all the belts. I don't think that The Rock will want to have a one-on-one match with Seth Rollins. I mean, we did talk about that earlier in the show. He's just there. I don't think like what DJ said, I don't think he's gonna hold his own in a one-on-one match for too long. So throw him in a tag match.
Yep.
I think this is probably
Tags
why they did all that.
Yep. Yeah, I think either tags or triple threats or something like that, like where he can, he can take a move and then roll out the ring for a little while. I don't think, like you're saying, just the pace that this era of wrestling is going in, even the people that aren't doing 100 flips, like this is still just a really like it's made for folks that do not have a let's just just speaking facts, like people that don't have that much of an attention span. Like this is what like they have to compete with that. You're competing with folks that that are TikTok users and everything. So everything's you gotta do something to keep a person's attention off their phone and on them. And The Rock's, as we know now, is 51. Great shape, but as we know, wrestling shape and great shape and wrestling shape are two like apples and oranges. Tag team match or some kind of triple threat, fatal 4-way kind of thing.
Do you have anybody else in your winner circle?
This rivalry, like even though this is gonna switch companies here, but the rivalry with Swerve and Hangman, I gotta put in the winner circle. Like they're doing great work. It's just like when you find two guys that just are good dance partners. It just like you can do whatever you want. Like you put them anywhere. You can put them in whatever kind of match you want to put them in. They just have this chemistry, and you gotta watch. Like you can't help but at first you're like, man, this match again, and then they start, and you can't take your eyes off of them. So that's chemistry. Like that's just you can't deny it.
Yeah, because that match last night on Dynamite, I was so invested in it.
Yep, I don't even mind it. We're older. I don't mind a time limit draw. Like that's
right.
If you entertain me, and there's no title involved, so
nope.
If you entertain me for all that time, and like it just looks like they're just kicking each other's ass, and the time runs out, I'm all right. I'm good with it.
And I've seen people were complaining online, which, like I said, you can never make a wrestling fan happy because everyone's gonna complain. Oh, another draw. And I see somebody post I seen somebody post all the matches have ended in a draw between, and there's only 6. You act like there's like a million in AEW. Right. There's only 6, and all 6 of those matches were incredible matches that we wanted it to be longer. And then we end up guess what? We end up getting a longer storyline from AEW because of it.
Nobody's buried, like because anybody wins or like the loser, you're gonna say got buried.
Yep.
Okay, that's what, because these kids think they know the lingo and they don't, and the loser, he got buried, even though they had a classic match. Okay, and the guy who lost is buried. Like, okay, you don't that. Show me you don't know what you're talking about,
Right.
you know, and so that's why they don't want. That's probably why they did. They know their audience. So and like you said, so now it just continues. You guys would have been really mad if you were around for Hogan versus Piper. You guys would have lost your damn minds if you were around for that.
Oh,
They
God.
barely ever had a straight like this. You know, this person won like that. They barely had any kind of matches like that.
Remember, the internet wasn't really a thing even through the Attitude Era. So imagine if we had the power of the internet full force when the Attitude Era was like up and going. I think we would get everything spoiled.
And it would suck because it's like, because that was part of like, so that's why I like what's going on now. Is that, like I said, it feels like when, you know, Lex Luger showing up at the at the mall right after we just saw him on Raw. You got Scott Hall climbing like in the middle. If you remember, that was in the middle of a match, and they were having this match, like just this nothing match. And then Scott Hall all of a sudden just grabs the mic, and they all leave, and he starts talking shit. Like, wait, and we're like, what am I watching? That's what we
nobody
saw.
Even won that match.
What's that?
I said nobody even won that match.
Nobody. They just walked away. They just they just got out of the ring.
We'll live another day.
So, and that's what we kind of watched today, and that's what I liked was that nobody knows what's going on, and I love it. And they made all this confusion, just like when the NWO showed up, and that's when people fell in love with wrestling again. Was when, man, like, you know, the NWO shows up backstage, throws Rey Mysterio like a dart. People were calling the police. They didn't know what they were looking. They never saw this before, so they were calling the police. This is what we're seeing. Like we're all being played, and I love it. We all think we know everything. It's like, okay, in WWE, Triple H is like, hold my beer. You think you know everything?
Yep. Like we're gonna do something that's gonna make people talk, and that's exactly what we're doing now. Is talking about all the stuff that's going on, just in pro wrestling, you know, in general. Do you have anything else in your winner circle?
Well, just that the storyline, the main event storyline in the WrestleMania main event storyline is in the winner circle. Like, we have a whole storyline of what is the main event of WrestleMania. Like, that's the storyline right now.
We don't even know what's what. We don't know night 1, night 2. We don't know if it's gonna happen. Elimination Chamber, we have no clue. Everything's up in the air, which is great.
I mean, like, they're saying, like, yeah, officially it's Cody versus Roman, but we know that's not over. Like, it's just not gonna go like that just because that's who Cody picked. We know something else is gonna happen. You know, so which is how it should be. But yeah, that was we can go into losers after that. I got 3
losers. Losers I only have 2.
Okay.
My first one, and I don't know if I'm the only one that felt this way, or besides the talent when they heard this news, and that was that Scott D'Amore, who was like the heart and soul.
It's in my loser circle. Yep.
Of TNA. Yep. Impact Wrestling. What was the other one that he did that he helped out with Jeff Jarrett?
I know what you're talking about.
Strike Force, something like that. I know it was green, had the green logo, or whatever. Anyway, he got fired from TNA, and
it's on fire. Like for TNA, for what, you know, they're the definition of a smaller company. G-Force.
Thank you.
And so, and the thing, like, they are rising. So he's doing a great job. Or was. I don't understand. Like, I got to hear more. But for right now, it's in the loser shirt. I like, what do you like? This guy just led you to some really good things that are happening in that company right now. You know, that threw me all the way. I'm like, wait, what? I just started, like, you know, I was like, wait, it's getting fun now. Why are we? What's happening? So yeah, I'd like to know more, but it's loser right now.
There was a rumor that he was trying to buy TNA, and this is why they wanted to like let him go. And I'm just like, why not sell him a portion of the company where
Right.
he's given his like
That means
life
he's
to
invested.
this brand,
Yeah.
all
He's
the
invested.
talent,
Give him
all
25%.
all the talent in TNA said the same thing. He was the heart and soul of this company.
Yes. People that were in TNA and went to other companies were even like chiming in.
Yep.
No, give him like you said, give him 25%. So he's a minority owner. You know he's gonna. So now he's got a stake. So he's gonna, he's not gonna go in there and screw around because he wanted to work just as much as everybody else. So why?
Exactly.
I don't understand greed, man.
Mm-hmm.
So now I think it's gonna nosedive now.
Listen, WWE, AEW. So one of them needs to pick him up.
Yeah.
Because wherever
at this point,
he goes,
I don't even care which one.
Wherever he goes, a lot of the talent is going to go with him.
Exactly. And I think for AEW, as somebody that I would like to see, I want to see both of these companies work. I think AEW should pick him up because I think maybe like he's somebody that Tony will listen to, and then let him organize things.
Mm-hmm.
And because that's all that really needs to be done. Is that it's just not really. You got all these egos and moving parts, and you're letting them run it, and
right.
So let him say no. This is how we're doing it. this is who's in the main event. This is who's going to win.
Mm-hmm.
I got the pencil. You guys do the show, and that's how And I bet you AEW turns everything turns around from there. So I think they need him more than WWE needs him. Not that, I'm pretty sure Trips of come on in and bring those guys with you.
Mm-hmm.
But I think AEW needs it more.
Oh yeah, because right now WWE probably has 10 to 15 people on their team that could do everything.
And they're
going strong.
Yeah, you got Paul, you got Trips. Like I said, when that Bucktooth man, when he was gone, I was like, it's on and crack. That took the governor off. That's it. That was the last piece of who they needed to leave from the back, and he's gone. Now they're about to be it's going to be full on, wrestling into, in 2024 now.
Right.
So, and we're seeing it. So I'm sure anybody's input, I'm this guy, TNA, like I said, I think it's been doing just fine. And it was getting fun. And so even if I'm WWE, I let this man talk in meetings. So no, I wouldn't worry too much about him. Somebody's gonna, I give it a month and he'll be on somebody's squad.
What Carlos has to say over here. I'm loving the sport presentation when the wrestlers arrive earlier in the day, the way they show the basketball players arriving. Yeah, I like that.
I agree. Yep. You see them, they got their bag and they got the whatever outfit they're wearing, and they're like, okay, here he is. He's walking in, he looks focused, just like they do with NBA and boxing, all that.
Just do that right. Just do that right in the kickoff.
Yeah. No, I'm with it. I'm with it too.
Who else is in your loser circle?
All right. So you guys can see over my shoulder here, who my all-time favorite wrestler is.
Oh my God! I can't believe he's bringing him up to the congregation.
Okay, so he is not in the loser circle. So let me get that. Okay, I didn't put because Sting is just the person in one of the guys in the match.
You almost broke my heart there.
Okay, no, don't worry. I didn't. He is not in the loser circle. I'm putting whoever. So I'm gonna. It's probably the Young Bucks. Whoever booked the ending of Dynamite. If it were my company, I would fire you. Period. Okay, you would be fired. Like just like right when the camera would go off and you're coming to the back, I'd be like, yeah. So just get your stuff and keep going to your car.
Yep.
Okay.
Just give me your
You
pass.
had a legend win one of our titles, right? Win a tag title. Confetti's falling. Everything's happening. I know these are supposed to be the heel, like they're getting ready for the retirement match, and they're the heels. Hell, I even know, like, I'm old enough to know like why they wore all white. Okay, but that was not the time or place to do it. And this has been one of my complaints with this company. It's the timing and presentation. It's always off. Every time. Every time. Let him have this night. He's earned to let him you let him win one of your titles, which is generous of you to let a 60-year-old man win one of your titles. I didn't think they were going to win. Like, honestly, I was like, okay, they're going to put up a good match and lose. Which I was like,
from what I was reading, he didn't even want to win the tag team titles. They kind of just said like, no, you're gonna win the tag team titles, and he kind of just was like, all right, fine, like I'm just gonna go along with it.
I followed this man all my life. I know exactly. Okay, I know exactly. You're telling the truth. Okay, so he, but hey, this is what the boss says, right? But to then have them get jumped in a way where they're bleeding all over the place, and then just so you can rub their face into your suit to have this red stains on your suit. This was the dumbest shit I
agree with you.
This has to go with one of the dumbest things that you've seen. Like everybody in the comments there, this got to be one of the dumbest things you've seen in wrestling. It has to be. It has to be. Do this the next, so have even if you had like a champion, how they win a championship and then the next week they have a segment that's them having the championship celebration. Do it then. Okay, now you can jump them and do all that.
Exactly.
But the night he wins it, to me, was completely disrespectful. And that's probably why Sting didn't even, he was trying to avoid all of this. Right. And then you even had them beat up his sons who aren't even. So I'm like, this is the most disrespectful thing I've seen. And
that was like a Vince wrote this shit.
Yes. Okay. So yeah. So I don't want to hear nothing. So nobody tell me nothing else about Sting losing at WrestleMania. And WWE didn't do him right. They made him lose at WrestleMania. Don't bring it up anymore. It's over. Don't bring that up anymore. This was the most disrespectful thing I've ever seen done to him. And he takes a lot. Like, one of the things I respect about this man is that you don't hear about politics with Sting in the back. It's like, okay, what are we doing? Okay, that's what we're doing. In fact, he's like you're saying, I've heard multiple times now, he'll fight that, no, I should not be winning this match. Okay. Okay, this is the second time I've heard this now. And then you do him like this.
Which is crazy.
This was the most disrespectful thing I've ever seen on their show. And I know this is probably some Young Bucks writing. And way in the loser circle.
Yeah, I had this in my loser circle as well, because I was just like, all he wants to do is just go into retirement.
Yep.
And leave gracefully. But you want to put a title on him now, where yes, him and Darby were undefeated as a tag team. I get it, but then you should have did that.
That's how they got the title shot.
Yeah, you should have did that a long time ago, though.
If
that was the case,
I would have been good with a good match, right? And then they lose at they barely lose at the end. Okay, that would have been great. That's fine. They were rightfully the number one contenders. They were undefeated. Okay, that even makes sense story wise. two younger in their prime guys, both of them bigger than Darby Allin. It's like they should have just, hey, we won that. They gave us everything they want, that we wanted, and we barely won at the end. They go crawling out of the ring with up the ramp with their titles. So if you're gonna make him win, so it's no, we want you to win. Okay, let him have his night then. That's all. Like, just okay, that night, yeah, we're celebrating the championship celebration next Wednesday. Then you come out and
go on and tackle him,
and not beating up on his son. I didn't like the beating up on his sons. Like, that was,
it was way too much.
So yeah, so no, so yeah, so that puts an end. So all I'm saying is that should bury and put an end to. Do not tell me how bad WWE did Sting. Don't. That's over with. Don't mention it ever again. They killed it on Wednesday.
Who else do you have?
And then last is Seth. I had to put Seth in the loser circle.
Why?
Because I just felt like he was an afterthought in this thing. Maybe as the story goes on, he shows up more. But when you think about it, when all this stuff's happening on stage, he's just kind of off. He's just, and then I mean, how many times you're gonna hear Roman go over to the second-rate title and the second, number 2 over there, like, with no real comeback.
I did feel bad for Seth tonight.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that Seth's a loser. Like, when we do winners or losers, I'm not calling him a loser. I'm just saying for this week and how this looks, he's not, like, maybe as a, like, so if a tag team match is about to come into play here, maybe now we hear him talk more more masculinely here. Okay, get more into this. Because right now he just kind of looks like a dude off to the side. Well, I got a title too. That's basically what it looks like to me. So so that's why I had to, so for this I'm like, oh, you're kind of, you are looking like the second rate right now to compare to what's happening, just seeing what we're seeing so far. So just for now, because every week it can change. Like, you had dry ass Drew McIntyre the loser thing for I don't know how many weeks, so it can change. But for right now, I have them in losers.
Oh my god, yeah, I did not have Seth on my losers column. I only had the situation with Sting and the stuff with TNA.
Both disappointing.
Just one more topic that I have. I want to talk with you.
Let's do it.
You're from the West Coast. I am a big Lakers fan, Kobe Bryant fan. Today they did the unveiling. We talked a little bit about it. I just want to get your thoughts on what did you think of the statue? Do you think that was the right one that he picked? Because Vanessa Bryan said that he picked this, which is a little. So that's I spoke to my wife about it, and I was just like, has this been in the works for years, that he's like, hey, if I ever get a statue, this is what I want?
Probably because, have you been to well, I guess now Crypto before?
No, I've never been there.
Okay. All right. So let me explain it to folks, because that's probably why you wanted to bring it up today. When you go to Crypto, first I invite, like, anybody that comes to Crypto, first message me. Second, I might be able to meet up with you, and like they have a bunch of stuff around there. We could probably have a cold one or something. But go early, just so you can walk around the arena. There are multiple statues. So, like, for those of us old enough, Chick Hearn, the announcer for the Lakers, he has a statue.
Oh wow.
Kareem has one.
Yeah, that I know.
Shaq has one. Oscar De La Hoya has one.
What? Wait. Oscar De La Hoya has De La
Hoya has one.
He has a statue there? Wow.
He has a statue there. So that's what I'm saying. See, people, like, there's a king. I don't think it's Gretzky, but one of the kings is there. And I'm probably forgetting, like, Magic has one. I believe I think Elgin Baylor has one.
Right.
So it's damn near like going to Yankee Stadium in that part that has the
Right.
it has all the plaques.
Because Yankee
But these are
Stadium is like that.
statues.
Yeah.
They're statues though. So I say that to say I bet you as he was retiring and everything, he's like, okay, I bet you one day they're gonna give me a statue.
Mm-hmm.
And this is I want the when I was walking off the floor for the 81-point game. Like that's what the statue is commemorating. And then it has all the titles. It has all the trophies behind it.
Yeah.
Which I noticed got a chap LeBron's ass, by the way.
Oh yeah.
You got 5 trophies behind him.
Yep.
So it's like you can say what you want. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But anyway.
And that brings up a really good question, like a follow-up question is so we get the Kobe statue. Mm-hmm. You said that, Shaq has one.
Mm-hmm.
LeBron is on the Lakers. I don't think that LeBron is going to retire a Laker.
I don't either.
But where do you if they give him a trophy, if they give him a statue, where does it go?
I don't think he'll get a statue. They might, like number 6 might get retired. Might. I don't. He's not, he's not really in Laker lore like that.
Yeah.
So, thank you for the help with the bubble championship and everything, but
and the in-season tournament.
Yeah. So not really in the first in-season tournament championship. Not really in Laker lore though. Like not like when you think Lakers, you're just not thinking LeBron.
No.
So that's I don't think he'll. I really don't think he'll get a statue. Like I can see Cleveland like that. Like which give him the statue with him throwing the powder up and move on. But I don't see it. In fact, that's what I think is gonna. I kind of think something like that is gonna happen. I think him and Bronny's gonna end up like in Cleveland or something.
Probably, I can see that.
But yeah, I don't see it. Maybe a plaque. Like maybe he'll get a plaque out there.
Get his jersey retired there for sure.
Right. So, but 6. I think they'll go 6 and not 23.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't. No, I don't see a statue. Like those guys that did statues, because even like you were saying, Oscar. Because the reason why they gave Oscar De La Hoya one is because his fights have made the most money in that building.
Makes sense.
So if you think about the big fights that he's had in that building, that's why. Okay. And he's, and then from East LA.
Of course. Mm-hmm. So. We've come to the end of the show.
All right.
We've talked WrestleMania Kickoff. We've talked Jay versus Gunther. We talked.
When was the last time you were hyped to watch a WrestleMania Kickoff?
Not for a good while.
Okay. So that's again. So just to show you the genius of this.
Because
when was the last time you were rushing to your YouTube to go watch a WrestleMania Kickoff live?
I don't remember what happened last year's WrestleMania Kickoff party.
You had I only remember this because I was so excited about going. So because it was here in LA and it was Becky. Like so, it was like how they used to do it. It was just a pep rally with and you had Becky.
They had matches.
Did they?
Yes.
Today?
Austin, I just realized it now. Austin Theory was there.
And then you had Becky trying to like booty bounce with the Laker girls and couldn't she doesn't have rhythm like that.
Her and Snoop, that was awful.
Yeah. So So that's what happened at that. But it wasn't a big it's not like we were revealing matches or anything. It was just the regular thing. You throw the balloons up and play music and here's Snoop's gonna be the host and that's it. That's all it was. It wasn't like this one.
We're talking. But let's see what happens. We got tomorrow. We got Friday. If you're listening to the audio version, obviously tonight you have SmackDown. They probably will give us a little bit more. Join us again next week. We're live every single Thursday at 10 o'clock. You can catch us live here, like I said, Thursdays, 10 o'clock on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. I was trying to get the Instagram working today. For some reason, it did not work for me. I don't know why. I'll figure it out another time. Don't forget to check out the audio version, which drops every single Friday. Shout outs to the Fake Cave. That's Nick are doing a wonderful job keeping us informed on all the action figure news and other stuff that they are doing there over at the Patreon. Like I said, it starts at $1 a month. You get to join the Fake Cave Facebook group, which will it will help you out tremendously of getting figures that you're probably looking for that are not in your stores. You have at least 6 or 7 people that go out there on a daily basis and look for figures for other people. You don't get that a lot in a lot of other Facebook groups.
No. And they're looking to try to, I've seen some groups, they're out there trying to double what they paid and all this stuff. Like, no, that's not how we roll.
My last shout out, obviously, to the Knuckleheads. Tremendous job that they've been doing every single week. It's like we're cranking out shows as much as possible. So if you're not following the Knuckleheads right now, please do so. Check their social medias because
buckle up when you do.
Oh yeah, it's a fun ride when it comes to the Knuckleheads. And the last thing I will leave you guys with is thank you for all the support. Since bringing DJ on, I felt like a lot of the guys from the run-in have come this way. The chat is getting more interesting when it comes to these conversations that we're having on Thursdays. I'm getting a lot more feedback on the show, so we're starting to crank out a lot more. Obviously, this partnership between me and JJ, I don't know why I call you JJ. Me and DJ is brand new, but we're increasing. We're getting better. There'll be a lot more changes to come. So buckle up, enjoy the ride because we have so much more in store for you guys.
Just getting started.
DJ, is there anything else you want to close out with before I say goodbye?
Yeah, and just I want to shout out to a couple of folks. So we got a Wrestling Collector Shop. If you join the group, we even have codes for them. And we still got a code for us, right? For Ringside Collectibles.
Yes. So Ringside Collectibles, we do have a code. It's the call up that will save you 10% on all your action figures that you go out and purchase. And we also just partnered up with SeatGeek. So if you never used SeatGeek before, if you use the code word, if you sign up with SeatGeek and you use the code word to call up, it will save you $20 off your first ticket purchase.
There we go. All right. And then and Barrios, if you're in California, Barrios Toys. Go to Barrios Toys if you're in Northern California. They have the best meet and greets that I've seen. That's where, if you look up on my top shelf there, you'll see some AEW figures. They're all signed. Mostly, this is when I went to see them at Barrios Toys. You get they let you have some time with the folks. Swerve is coming to Barrios Toys. Swerve is coming. Okay.
I need you to.
You can go up there and dance. Yeah. So and he'll do it with I'm telling you, you get they had Mick Foley there at one time. People were there's all kinds of videos I saw where the people were having fun with Mick Foley. Go if you're in Northern California, make sure you're going to Barrios Toys.
There you go, guys. Don't forget to comment, subscribe. Tell a friend to join us here every single Thursday at 10 o'clock. Guys, until next time, be safe and enjoy.